One of the latest tech buzzwords given wings by the success of the iPhone and iPad is HTML5. It's the biggest leap forward in web standards in almost a decade. HTML5 is the next evolution of hypertext markup language, a standard by which application developers create end-user experiences. HTML is a fundamental blueprint of the web. When you visit a site, you see specific content, such as text, photos, and videos, because your browser downloaded a big chunk of HTML code that tells the browser where to access that media and how to lay it out on a virtual page. HTML5 is not merely intended to present content to a web browser. Its goal is to bring the web into maturity as a full-fledged application platform, a level playing field where video, sound, images, and animations with full interactivity with the computer are all standardized. HTML5 originally began as two different specifications, Web Forms 2.0 and Web Apps 1.0. Both were the result of the changed web landscape and the need for faster, more efficient, maintainable web applications. Forms and app-like functionality are at the heart of web apps, so this was the natural direction for the HTML5 spec to take. Eventually, the two specs were merged to form what we now call HTML5. HTML5 covers a lot of ground. Cool things like Gmail's ability to work and store email offline, geolocation features that automatically determine where you are, and the ability to drag and drop windows and widgets into your browser.
There's our image.
Also included are the new ways for web pages to incorporate functionality such as screen readers for the visually impaired, document editing within browsers via Zoho Docs or Google Docs, and the uploading of files by dragging them onto a web page from your desktop. By standardizing the implementation of these features, browser makers have a much easier time building them into their applications. As browsers adopt powerful HTML5 functionality, which makes sites feel like interactive software, publishers are starting to experiment in fascinating ways and building worthwhile apps. For example, last December, Google launched its own Chrome web store, showcasing the best of what HTML5 web apps could offer users. Since then, more apps have been added to the store and more companies have started to optimize or rewrite their web apps specifically with HTML5. TweetDeck is one of the most popular Twitter clients on the desktop and is revered by users. Built using HTML5, TweetDeck Web takes the core of the TweetDeck Chrome app and applies it to other platforms and browsers. The goal is to make the TweetDeck experience browser and device agnostic, and it is part of TweetDeck's broader strategy approaching mobile and desktop apps. We are starting to see the worlds of web applications and desktop apps converge. It happened with email, chat, and social media communication. The next step is to make it viable for data processing, multimedia, and ultimately web development itself. HTML5 is going to play a big role in enabling web developers to do more with pure web apps without needing to rely on third-party plugins or extensions. As browsers become better attuned and optimized for the evolving HTML standard, the opportunities will only increase.